Hi folks, Jonathon here from Randox Health. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're in a beautiful Ivory restaurant at the top of House of Fraser in Belfast. Delighted to have with me Kieran, who's the head chef here at the Ivory. I wanted to have a wee quick chat today about your New Year's resolution. A lot of us make a New Year's resolution to become healthier and fitter, but a lot of us have a problem sticking to it. So we're getting towards the end of January and we wanted to give you a bit of a boost to say, look, here's a couple of options that you can make at home that are healthier options, and then Kieran's going to have a quick chat as to how to do it. So Kieran, you've made a few dishes for us today. Talk us through what we've done.
Well, we're going to go through one of these dishes here.
Okay.
It's a quinoa salad. It's a lot of superfoods in it. Very simple and very easy to make at home. You can get some of these products at home. A fine delicatessen, no problem.
Okay.
You can get those things. It's a smoked duck. You can get from any delicatessen will have this here. So we're just going to put some out there in a bowl there. We have avocado, which is also really good for you. But our main ingredient is quinoa,
Okay.
which is a seed from a plant that grows in South America.
Okay.
It's from the amaranth family, which I've cooked off pretty much with her recipes, which you can get from a delicatessen as well. But it's so tasty and so good for you. So large helping of that there, yeah. In there, and then also this here, pomegranate, which you can break down. That's absolutely so good for you, and really healthy. And then just to jazz it up and give it a wee bit of flavour. It sounds a little bit boring, but a wee bit of fresh chilli, which I've just broke down and de-seeded. I've got some sun-dried tomatoes in a sunflower oil, which you can squeeze as much sunflower oil if you want, and then some fresh shallots, which I've broke down, basically in there as well. Some fresh tomato, just diced down, and some mesclun leaves. Basically, a lovely bit of wee salad there. Now, the dressing for this salad is a honey and mustard dressing. Now, it's basically made with, I've made it as healthy as you can go with a coconut oil and some mustard and some vinegar, and sort of emulsified that there. It's easy enough done. You can look up any recipe online, but just follow the lines of those healthy options instead of those.
And Kieran, just to
happy
jump
ones.
in on that there, so
Go ahead.
coconut oil kind of went through a bit of a phase last year where people were talking about cooking that. What are the benefits of cooking with coconut oil?
It's a lot healthier. You can't really cook at a high temperature with it, but yeah, it's a lot healthier just to have
So
that.
slow and steady as opposed to on a high heat some of the times
Yeah,
with it? Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So basically, I'm just going to mix that up there.
Okay.
And probably make it look lovely on a wee plate here. Yeah, so really healthy superfood salad.
That looks delicious. In your opinion, what's the most important thing when you are trying to lose weight with something like
I
that?
think just keep things in a healthy balance.
Okay.
I think that's the key for everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have to eat stuff like that all the time. You can have your fish and chips at night.
Yeah.
And then as long as you're not having it every night,
Yeah.
as long as you're keep a
Simple
balance,
things.
and as long as you're keeping your exercising as well.
And I think that's the key thing, Kim, you said about it's time. People don't have time when they come in from work, and they want those wee options. Everything we're doing here today is going to be online on the Randox Health website and the blogs that we're putting up as part of this video. So get on there and check out the recipes that Kieran has put up there. Okay, perfect. Folks, we've had a quick chat with Kieran here. We've another couple of guests here at the Ivory with us today. One of them's Ian Shields, who's a case study of ours, who had lost 3 stone in weight thanks to his Randox Health program. We've got Emma Cuddy, who's one of our scientists, talking through some of that, and then we've also got Niall McHugh, who is a personal trainer and Crossfit gym owner here in Belfast. So we're going to take some of this delicious food down to the guys here, and we're going to have a quick chat with them.
Alright guys, how you still doing there?
Okay, folks, so this is up here.
Super food salad, they're smoked up and quinoa salad. So tuck in guys.
That's
What
absolutely.
do we taste of it there?
A few vegetable crisps here.
Thank you very
Enjoy.
much indeed.
Work away,
Thanks
guys.
a lot.
Now, let's try it.
Thanks a lot.
It's delicious.
It does look delicious, I think.
So folks, thanks for joining us. Ian, tell us a wee bit about yourself. You're obviously a retired pilot and you've been through one of the Randox Health programs. Why did you choose Randox Health?
I have. Most enjoyable it was too. I've retired 4 years.
Okay.
I was getting a little bit fatter than I should have been.
Okay.
I've always had regular medical checks as part of my profession, and I was looking for something that would fill the gap.
Okay.
And I heard about Randox, I thought, give it a whirl,
Okay.
and absolutely brilliant. What came out of my results was that I thought I was much better off than I was. But
Okay. Okay. One of the key things that we found from your results, Ian, was you had a cardiac risk score of over 25%.
yeah,
Emma, tell us a wee bit about what that means.
Yeah, so routinely we will measure someone's cardiovascular risk score, which is basically the risk of developing a heart attack or stroke or a cardiac event over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So probably, Ian, whenever you heard your score, it probably give you a little bit of a shock maybe as
it was
to,
yeah.
Had you any fears about that beforehand, Ian?
I had no. I'm going to live forever. I had
Okay.
no fears at all.
Okay, and as a result of that, Ian, the advice we gave you off the back of that, and then including your retest within your Randox Health
Yeah.
program, we found that actually from the work that you had done
Yeah.
and the changes that you had made, you brought that result from 25% down to 7%,
Yes, indeed,
which is
yeah.
basically an improvement of over 75%.
Yeah.
What's changed? What have you done differently?
Firstly, the result really surprised me
Yeah.
because I didn't think what I'd done could make such a big difference. And all I basically went on to was obviously calorie control. What goes
Okay.
in
Yeah.
kind of goes on.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting,
Okay.
which has really worked for both my wife and myself.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic. And I'm not in the first flush of youth, so my regime for physical fitness was walk every day for an hour. I've got dogs, and I just carry a couple of dumbbells, only 2 kilos each.
Yeah.
Brilliant, and I feel super.
So simple things that everybody can have a big impact
Everybody
on.
at
that
no
you can
cost,
make a difference.
virtually no cost.
Would there have been any other markers that would have been picked up from his Randox Health check that would have been precursors to that as well, and any other factors that could have caused any other
Yeah.
lifestyle issues further down the line as well?
Yeah, so one of the key benefits of the Randox Health preventive health programs is that we try to assess risk and prevent these conditions such as cardiovascular disease
Yeah.
or type 2 diabetes from occurring.
Okay.
And we picked up different markers from Ian's profile,
Okay.
such as adiponectin and
Okay.
leptin,
Yeah.
which can actually give us a really early indicator of risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes.
And are these markers routinely tested for him?
They wouldn't be routinely tested
Okay.
for. So, for example, if you go to your doctors, it's not something that would be routinely run,
Okay.
but we do run it, and you probably maybe didn't hear
I've
of it
never
beforehand,
heard of it.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Ian. But it really gives us a really good in-depth look at risk as opposed to waiting until it happens.
Until the problem occurs?
Yeah.
Okay, and with those markers there, can they be linked to anything else? So obviously, Ian, the main thing you've done is lose weight in order to help bring your cardiac risk score down.
Yes, I have.
You've lost over 3 stone, I'm
Yep,
writing saying.
yep.
And what period of time? How long?
Oh, that was probably total about 5 months.
Okay.
And it was-
And there's a stat there that every 80 seconds in the UK somebody is diagnosed with diabetes. Is it preventable? Is it curable? Where do we stand with
Yeah.
that?
So importantly, obviously obesity is one of the main driving factors of type 2 diabetes and metabolic disease. And it's majorly preventable. So over 75% of all cardiovascular
Yeah.
disease and type 2 diabetes is actually preventable.
Which is an
So
incredible stat when you think about it.
Yeah.
Over 75%. That's a
Yeah.
massive number. I don't think anybody would really suspect it to be that high.
These are it's a modern phase, so these
Yeah.
aren't things that were happening kind of 50, 60,
Yeah.
70 years ago. So, and it's down to modern lifestyle
Mhm.
and the kind of habits and things that people are forming. But what people need to be aware of is it's never too late,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
why getting a Randox test would be it's a great opportunity to kind of use that
Yeah.
as a stepping stone. The body has amazing capacity to heal itself through
Yeah.
nutrition and exercise. So having those kind of numbers
Yeah.
there can spur you on to kind of make that
Show you
choice.
the benefits of it.
I think also that you're talking about, in my case, there's a big difference in heart.
Yeah.
By going to Randox, I wasn't tested. I didn't go and say, excuse me, I'm worried about my heart. I went and they identified heart issues, well, not heart attack
Yeah.
risks.
Yeah.
Also, they identified like type 2 diabetes. But you do realize, don't you?
Yeah.
This says you're
It's
higher
all-
on this.
it's
So
all
it gives you an overall,
Yeah.
it wasn't just one thing I had to work
Yeah.
on, it was several.
Yeah.
Luckily, the way to solve it solved not
Yeah.
all problems, but virtually all problems.
Now let me come back to you. If somebody was to come into the gym today, all right, and they wanted to lose a bit of or they wanted to lose a bit of weight, who maybe hasn't been doing a lot of exercise. You're
Yeah.
not talking about getting up and starting to run the roads kind of that way.
Yeah.
What's the first step there?
So I would always, like with anything, like with kind of Ian seeking out Randox, when people go to start exercise, I would advise them to seek out a professional. It's
Yeah.
not something that you should kind of take upon yourself. What our approach is, we put our clients through what we call like a foundation element program,
Okay.
where we take that person as if they've never set foot in the gym before, and we basically break down and teach them how to exercise and how to move better.
When you see a client coming through the door and they go through a program and they're working on their diet and they're doing their exercise, what changes do you see in that individual?
Aside from the kind of obvious physical changes that we're hoping to see, one of the main things we see is that people grow in confidence, and I'm sure Ian can talk about this as well. But as a coach watching by, it can be truly life changing for somebody who's unhappy in themselves to maybe lose 2 or 3 stone, and the confidence that person has when they walk into the
Did
room.
you find that in as well? Did you find that after
Yeah.
you lost the weight? Did your mood nearly change as well? Do you feel a different person?
I felt much better, and most people
Yeah.
didn't know me because I'd lost so much weight.
Yeah.
Which it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
But there's no downside.
Yeah, perfect.
There's no downside.
Perfect. And then mentally wise as well, that must be a massive factor as well. When somebody loses a lot of weight, they must feel better in themselves. But there's other links with that as well in terms of actually nutrition and things like that as
Yeah.
well. So your diet. And one of those could be the likes of vitamin D. We don't get a lot of sunlight here in Northern Ireland typically, or anywhere in the UK. So we have to take supplementation to support that as well.
Yeah.
But there are other links between mental and physical health. Can you talk a wee bit about those?
Yeah, so basically what people don't realise a lot of the time is that if someone's feeling down or if there's a little bit of mental ill-being there, that it might actually be something underlying.
Okay.
So instead of going to your doctor and getting say an antidepressant or some sort of antidepressant medication, it might be something as simple as a
Could be something
vitamin deficiency.
physically there going on in the body as well.
So a deficiency in vitamin D, which is extremely common
Yeah.
here in the UK, or a deficiency in vitamin B12 can have links to mental health. So it might be something as simple as actually correcting the underlying vitamin deficiency.
We also see, even with exercise, even the endorphin rush and
Yeah.
kind of that positive buzz that people kind of feel after exercising. People are more likely to kind of carry on in good habits. When you've exercised that day, you're more likely to go and prep a healthy lunch or a healthy
Yeah.
dinner after exercising, because you have that feel good
Yeah.
factor after the session.
Listen, folks, thank you very much for joining us here today. We're in the beautiful Ivory restaurant here at the top of House of Fraser in Belfast. They've got some exciting news this week, in that they're going to have a relaunch of the restaurant next Friday. So make sure you get yourselves down. Kieran and the team have got some lovely meals here on the new menu, as I'm sure the guys are testament to here today. I just want to say thank you to the guys for joining us. Make sure you check out Randox Health at randoxhealth.com. Our landline number is 0800 2545 130. If you've got any questions for us, make sure to check out our blogs and sign up to our newsletter for more upcoming videos. My name is Jonathon from Randox Health. It's been my pleasure, and hopefully speak to you soon.